What's up, gamers? It's your boy, JKon. Welcome to another video. With week 1 of the VCT already completed and week 2 already underway, I thought it'd be fun to go through my picks from week 1 and see how many I got right and make my picks for week 2. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, as it does really help me out a lot, and I very much appreciate it. Also, feel free to comment down below your predictions from week 1 and how many you got right, and what are your predictions for week 2. I know it's a little bit late, but hey, sometimes life slips you by a little bit, but we're still here. Anyways, without further delay, let's get into it. Alrighty, let's start out with EMEA. So EMEA kicked off a couple of days ago, so I had to make my picks a little bit, but I forgot to record a video of it. And as you can already see, that my picks are not going well for week 2. But for week 1, I did pretty well, to say the least. I got 5 out of 6. Which I think is quite successful. The only one I got wrong was the Fnatic versus Heretics matchup, and I gotta give it to Heretics, man. They looked very, very impressive on their maps, and Fnatic just looked like they were still sluggish. I know that the Fnatic manager came out and said that some of the members were sick, and Poster has also come out and said that they didn't really utilize the offseason super well, and you can kind of tell a little bit, especially on Lotus. Even though Fnatic did have a bit of new ideas, their comp has been meta for so long that Heretics know how to take it apart with their own comp, and they were able to push it over the line. Now let's look at my week 2 predictions, and as you can see already, it is not going very well. So I picked Karmine Corp to take it over Foot, and clearly that didn't happen. Foot were able to push them past the line. I will be honest here, I have not watched all of the EMEA games from this week so far. I'll be doing that later, but I thought that Karmine Corp looked pretty solid, but GX didn't look that good in the first week, and Foot did dominate Liquid, to be honest, and I kind of expected them to beat them pretty handedly, but what do you know, one of my picks wrong there. Secondly, Vitality versus Heretics. I was not expecting this matchup to go the way it did. I was fully expecting Heretics to take it to Vitality, especially with Heretics map pool, and obviously that did not happen. Again, I didn't watch the games yet, so I have to go and check it out, but this one was kind of surprising to me when I saw that. Navi taking it over Liquid. This was kind of expected. This was what I predicted. I think Navi looked pretty solid against Team Vitality, and I think they're going to be a pretty solid team overall, in my opinion. And here we go to my last one that played out today, BBL versus Koi, and I went with Koi, but BBL absolutely dominated them. Koi, all right against Liquid. They had very strong attack sides, but their defense definitely needed a lot of work. And BBL versus Gentlemates, I don't know if BBL just wasn't used to Gentlemates aggression, or they're tying to team comps, but I don't know. I thought Koi looked a little bit better, but clearly not. And BBL get their first win of the season, so you know what, shout out to BBL. Tomorrow's games, my pick'ems are Fnatic over Giant X. I think just GX look very, very not that great. They definitely struggled, and even though Fnatic have not been looking the best, I still can't really doubt their top talent. Although the top talent has been missing some shots, you would expect them to get multi-frags in certain situations, and they're only getting one, and their trading out wasn't 100% perfect. And something interesting, completely random, is that Leo's running Vandal instead of Phantom. I don't know if that's a switch up, because a lot of people have been running Phantom this year, so I have no idea, but I'm still going with Fnatic. If Fnatic do lose this game against GX though, I think I'll be very, very concerned for them for the rest of the season, to be honest. It would be a little bit worrisome. And last but not least, we have Karmine Corp versus Gentlemates. I went with Karmine Corp here. I think my belief in Karmine Corp still is pretty high on their kickoff and their Madrid run. Again, I didn't watch the Foot game, so I don't know how well they played there. And I might be underestimating Gentlemates here, because I did like a lot of their ideas that they were running, especially with their double duelist setup. So I thought it was interesting for sure. And I think the lurking Yoru and Phoenix combo that they did on Ascent was pretty cool. But I went with Karmine Corp here. I also think that because there are now VODs of Gentlemates out there from last week, KC, even though they had a double week, might be able to prepare for them. But I'll be honest, I don't think I considered the double week as much in consideration when I made this pickup. But as of right now, we are currently 1 for 4. We'll check in next week to see how many I get right by the end of this week. All right, let's go to America. So Americas, I absolutely flubbed it. My own home region, I got 1 out of 5 correct. And That's tough. That's tough. The Lev versus Cloud9 game, I am very concerned about Lev. I had a lot of confidence in them coming into the year. Kickoff didn't really show much, to be honest, although we could argue that they were in the group of death. But yeah, they just did not play well against Cloud9. And even though Osboss and King were firing, the rest was lacking for sure. So shout out to Cloud9 for getting the dub though opening week. I think this really helps them a lot, especially in their group standing. So shout out to C9. NRG over Loud. This one was kind of an expected one. NRG with 2-0 them. Loud didn't have that much practice, although they looked pretty good on Breeze. Tough. EG versus G2. This was just like a vibes pick, and it was not necessarily the right vibe. G2's Icebox looks so good. I think their comp is going to dominate Icebox. Sentinels versus 100 Thieves. This pick'em was also made before the confirmation that John was going to be playing, so I'm gonna give myself a pass on that one. And Furia versus Crew. I gotta shout out to Crew, man. Give them their first win in the regular season of VCT. They went winless all of last year, so shout out to them. Heat was absolutely firing. Him and Kesnit just absolutely just pew, 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 pew. It was not the greatest match in the world, but it was entertaining in my opinion. Here's a clip of me of when Crew won their matchup from my stream.
Spike now going down to 3 versus 3. Crew now forced to stay inside the site. Khalil gives some hope.
You can do it. You can do it, Crew.
Up to Klaus and Heat.
2 more kills.
Attack,
One more kill.
Heat comes around the corner. Now up to Cone.
Crew
will finally seal the deal and win the series against Fury.
They're on the board, baby. Their first win. Let's go.
They take the series.
Woo!
Lotus and Breeze leading their victories.
Groupium, baby.
A little bit of chaos.
Let's go. Now heading over to week 2. We have G2 versus 100 Thieves. Ooh. I don't think... Oh, dude. I mean, 100 Thieves Icebox didn't look that bad. And actually, it was pretty competitive. Cryo was absolutely popping against Sen. But I don't think G2 would lose that. And I also think G2's... Oh, I don't know. Do I still believe in Boostio? I mean, Boostio kind of had a tough series. But, man... If 100 Thieves want to play Icebox, that's going to be tough because I think G2 can beat them there. Do my 100 Thieves stocks drop already? And do my G2 stocks rise because of their win? I'm still gonna go with 100 Thieves. I still believe in them. I still have like a strong feeling that they can still bounce back. I really thought that Cryo was quite impressive, so you know, shout out to him. Going to Sentinels versus Lev, I'm going Sen. I don't really have much doubts in this team right now. Give them a week of practice, and yeah, Lev looked concerning. I don't know how I feel about their Ascent comp. I'm not the biggest solo Phoenix player. I'm just not the biggest Phoenix guy in general, and I just don't know. You have Aspas and Calm. Aspas is one of the best duelist players in the world. He can play Raze and Jet at like a top 3 duelist player in the world level, and you have him playing Phoenix, and then you have Calm playing Viper on Ascent, and Mazzino playing solo KO. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So Lev for me, stonks going down. Crew versus MIBR. This is, in my opinion, going to be a pretty hype matchup. You see Heat taking on his old organization that kicked him last year. He looked quite impressive. MIBR, this is their first matchup of the entire regular season since they got a bye last week. And damn, Heat did look really good, and so did Kesnit, but I expected both of them to fire. And Heat was playing a new role, and he looked pretty solid on it. His utility was good. His flashbangs on KO were really good. But MIBR also looked really good in kickoff, and I was like on a rising high. I'm gonna go with MIBR. I'm gonna go with MIBR. I just was really impressed by MIBR from kickoff. So because they also got an extra week off to prepare, I'm gonna give them the matchup this week. NRG versus Furia. NRG is gonna take this, no doubt in my mind. NRG look really good. Their firepower is sharp. Crashies just got so many multi-kills. Vic bailed them out with so many multi-kills as well, and just this team is damn good. Also, Demon 1 was playing Raze, and it looked pretty good. Like, his Raze was solid, his movement was good, and there's not much else that you can really ask for from them. So Energy is going to take it. Oh, they also got the rebrand as well. They are no longer a fully black logo. They are now orange. So shout out to Energy for giving some variety. Sucks that we only have one green gun though. It's still loud, but I do own the loud gun because I am a green connoisseur. C9 versus EG. The thing that I felt about EG's matchup last week is that Apoth didn't have as much impact as he did during kickoff. And Cloud9 looked not that bad. Like, they looked pretty solid. Oxy put up big numbers. their comps that they were running weren't too bad. I think having like a pure heart sentinel and like a flex that can move around like Zeppo works very well. And yeah, I'm gonna go C9. Let's lock them in. Those are my pick'ems. But there we go. Those are my pick'ems for week 2 of Americas. Hopefully I do a lot better than last week, because 20% from last week is no bueno. Let's go to the Pacific, and I got pretty much all of Pacific correct. I got 6 out of 8, which I think is pretty impressive. It's also interesting to see how the different regions are running their weeks, where we have EMEA that starts on Tuesday, which is 3 days before everybody else, and then China's the second ones that come out, and then it's Pacific. So I don't know, the scheduling is kind of crazy. Pacific also play 8 matches a week, where a team plays double up every single time. In Americas, we have a team that gets a bye, and I believe in EMEA, one team plays twice every week. So an interesting schedule for sure, and how they're balancing it. So please bear with me while I work out videos and try to figure out how I want to like talk about the games consistently. I would try to do it more on like a daily basis, but we're getting there. We'll see how far we get. Anyways, let's go into Pacific though. Ones that I got wrong: Team Secret versus DRX. This was just a big question mark about DRX and what they were playing and who they were playing with. Bane actually slotted in really well on the controller role. He was playing Omen for them when they moved Mako over to Viper, and Mako is a very competent and very good Viper player. He's not a natural Viper player, as he's mainly the orb smoker, but he has played it a lot on the solo Viper maps. So a little bit of a change in playstyle for Mako, but he's still pumping up really good numbers. So shout out to DRX and Bane, looking really good. He also whipped out the Selva for them, which I thought was impressive, because well, he is an initiator player. So I'm not too upset that I got this guess wrong, but yeah, DRX pretty good. And then the second one I got wrong, and I think pretty much almost everybody got this wrong. I would not be surprised if only like less than 10% people got this right that did pick'ems. The T1 versus DFM matchup, and I agree with almost everybody out there, that was the match of the week. If you want to watch a match from last week, watch the T1 versus DFM matchup. Both teams played incredibly well. Both teams brought a lot of adaptation and new variety. T1 whipped out different comps, and I think if T1 played any other team, they would have taken the series, but DFM fought really hard. May played like an absolute superstar, and oh my god, dude, May just absolutely popped off. This kid was insane, and DFM just really adapted to what T1 were doing just through every like iteration, and whenever there was like a slight change in plans, DFM adapted, and it looked really good. So shout out to DFM. This was the week of the winless teams finally getting a dub, and goddamn, dude, DFM looked pretty good. So shout out to them. I'm really happy for them. I had a commenter from one of my videos saying that DFM will win champions this year. I don't know if it will happen, but this is a damn good start, let me tell you. So shout out to them. But we come to my picks for this week, and we got some banger matchups this week, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. So it looks like Gen G are having a double up series this week, and dude, that's kind of tough. That's tough for sure. I'm gonna say Gen G are gonna take it over Paper Rex. Even though they have the double matchup, Gen G have just owned Paper Rex so far. I was very hyped about Jin coming back. He looked very good. It looked as if Paper Rex just picked up where they left off. The chemistry is still there, especially between him and Forsaken. Just their timings when they peek through stuff is chef's kiss, man. So I love my Paper boys, but I cannot be sleeping on Gen G right now. They are the best team in the region, and until Paper Rex proves me wrong, so maybe they will tomorrow, well, I guess we'll find out, I'm gonna go Gen G. T1 versus DRX. This is also gonna be a super banger game, dude. Friday night. that's gonna be a banger night, dude. Gen G, Paper X, T1, DRX. This is literally the 4 teams that made it to playoffs for kickoff. That's hype. That's so hyped. Whoever scheduled this, love that. I'm gonna go with T1. I like what T1 did. It was just really unfortunate. I know they're 0-2. That sucks, but I don't think that it was that bad. They played Paper Rex, who just owned their number. I'm sorry, Paper Rex just kind of owned them. And the DFM game, they did not play bad at all. Like, they played well in both of the games. T1 looked good. They have a lot of great ideas. Izu has been firing, man. This kid is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know where these young Korean talents are getting found, but they are absolutely insane. They're getting put to controller roles, and they're doing great. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep my T1 stocks for now. It's not like DRX is dropping at all. I think DRX did play very well, but I'm going with T1. Again, these are just my pickers. A lot of it's hopium too. Team Secret versus Zeta. I'm gonna go with Team Secret. Zeta did fix a lot of their stuff that they had issues from kickoff when they played against GE, but I also don't think GE are that great of a team. So yeah, I'm still high on Team Secret. I think they played pretty okay versus DRX. I think Envy wasn't hitting as hard as he usually does, but yeah, I still believe in Team Secret. I like Vash. Jesse Vash, he's badass. Bleed versus RRQ. I'm sticking to my RRQ train. I've been on the RRQ train since, I guess, the end of last year coming into this year, especially with the roster moves that they made. So RRQ has been like one of my hype teams that I've been backing, and I'm going to continue to back them here. Bleed looked all right. I enjoyed seeing Ye back on main duelist, but I still think they need some work to do, and it still kind of confuses me, and I feel like this is something that they need to work on and implement, especially because they are also playing a double matchup this week, and so is Zeta. Oh shit, wow, a lot of people are playing double matchups this week. Is that they need to see what T1 does for Xcurate on Lotus and just steal everything that they do. They literally have Izu babysit Xcurate. Anything that goes his way, a boom bot, a dart, or like a fade eye, anything that comes his way, Izu gets it out of the way, shoots it, and Xcurate just posts it up with an op. And T1 look very, very strong whenever Xcurate has an op. He dominates whenever he has an op in his hands. So I think Bleed need to do the same thing. I think they need to take the same formula that T1 is doing and steal that for their own and slot that in there. But until they do that, I can't really give too much stonks on them right now. Gen G versus DFM. I think this is also going to be a really, really good matchup, especially because of what we've seen from DFM so far. And there's the but I'm going with Gen G. I still think, like I said, they're the best team in the region right now, and they look really freaking good. GE versus Talon. I will be going with Talon. I think Talon have good firepower, to be honest, and it's interesting how they're swapping in Cruz with Lenny for certain maps and bringing Lenny in for Sova. So I don't know how they're working with their calling structure with moving Lenny the IGL in and out. Maybe Cruz is picking up the calling. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna go with them for now. T1 versus RRQ. Oh shit. Oh, I'm gonna go with T1 here. And the reason for that is I think RRQ still makes a decent amount of mistakes that can be punished, and they still need to refine their game plans. And the games versus Team Secret, like both these teams are very, very quite evenly matched, to be honest. They're around each other's strengths, but I think T1 is still a little bit above them. And as high as I am on RRQ, I cannot imagine T1 being 1-3 by the end of week 2. So I'm gonna put T1. And Zeta versus Bleed, I'm gonna go with Zeta. Same reasonings against RRQ for Bleed. And yeah, I just think Zeta made improvements. So yeah, we're gonna go with them. Submitted. So I guess we'll see how many I get right or wrong. Pacific looks like one of my best regions along with EMEA for guessing. Now let's go to China. China, I got 3 out of 6. So when we look at my guesses last week, my big hopium problem with wolves and being wolves build has kind of bitten me in the butt here a little bit, which is kind of tough. TEC, they played very well, to be honest, against wolves. Although wolves played well, RB baby, that's all I can say. And FPX versus wolves. FPX, I mean, I don't know why I doubted FPX. They are, in my opinion, the second best team right now in China. Their comps are good, their calling's good, their firepower is pretty solid. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just, oh, you know what I mean? I was just too deep in there. So that one's on me. But the one's not on me is DRG versus AG. And I think this one shocked all of us. I need to go rewatch this game again because damn, I'm just stupefied. I thought DRG would be a much stronger team than AG. You know, I power ranked AG to not be that strong, and ooh. So I'll have to rewatch that and dissect what happened, you know. Now we're on to week 2 and it starts in a little bit from when I'm filming this. So let's go through the picks. We have JDG versus Nova. And yeah, Trace beat them pretty easily. And Swirl put up pretty solid numbers. But I mean, Trace is a really freaking good team. And the addition of Lorking did not seem to hinder them too much, to be honest. So I'm just going to go with JDG for now. I know they did lose to EDG, but that's kind of expected. They did push EDG though to 3 maps. So got to give it to them there. They did get absolutely destroyed on their map pick though. Smoggy diff. Okay. Yeah, I'm still going to go with JDG. I think I'm still confident in this team. I think adding Yuchen as their IGL, they look a little bit better than they did at kickoff. So they're not headless chickens. So shout out to them. So I'm going to go JDG for now. FPX over DRG. There's no doubt in FPX. DRG stonks might be dropping a little bit because of this loss. I don't know why I'm down in FPX. I like their playstyle. I like their players. I am an iYoung fan. I am an iYoung fan. And although I hate sometimes that he just buys a Guardian, no armor, he just still frags with it. So, I mean, how can I doubt him? So, you know, we're sticking with FPX. AG versus Wolves. That's it. That's all I need, baby. That's all I need. Trace versus Billy. I'm going to Trace here. I still believe this team is very strong. I like this team a lot. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the addition of Looking doesn't look like it hinders them too much. So we're going to go there. Oh, DRG have to play twice this week. See, this is one of the things I didn't consider last week, and I need to consider, especially for strength of schedule, and I should look at more team strength of schedule coming up forward when I make my predictions. But being a new team entering into the league, playing 2 matches in 1 week is actually absolutely brutal. So I feel super bad for Wolves. But because DRG are also facing a double week here against 2 pretty good teams, one very good team and a pretty good team, I think they're going to be 0-3 after week 2, which is extremely tough, especially as an Ascension team. Again, like I said, they just came into the league, so that's tough. That's tough. EDG versus Tyloo. I'm going to go with EDG. I just believe in my boys. And Tyloo did look a lot better than I was expecting, and I think they pushed BOG pretty solidly, and Flexen still pretty good, not gonna lie. And I think their addition of Aaron actually made Tyloo look pretty good. So it wasn't just Flexen. So I missed that when I was talking about it. But the addition of Aaron actually, I think, boosts Tyloo, and they look competent. And they were actually playing around HFMI. Like, they were actually letting him play his superstar style. They let him play Cypher, and he was putting up major impact. And then he switched to Initiator, and he was putting up impact. So Tyloo, not too bad. Will they be able to beat EDG? Potentially. But I'm gonna go with my boys for there. Submit it. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all of my pick'ems for week 2. Hopefully I get more right than I did last week. Let me know down below in the comments who you guys are rooting for this week and what your picks are and what your guess percentage is for guessing pick'ems right, because so far mine is kind of hit or miss depending on the region. That will be it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, stay hydrated. Peace.